Parents, there is only one way for your team to score above a 1500 on their next SAT. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this video. For those of you guys who don't know me yet, my name is Jared Wynn. I'm the founder and director of Geometry Gurus SAT Prep. And at this point in my career, I've helped hundreds of students increase their SAT score so that they can go to their dream colleges or qualify for scholarships. In every single video that I post, I give you guys one actionable tip to helping your teens increase their SAT score. With that being said, family, let's get straight into it. We just had one of our students, Drew, go from a 1350 to a 1540 in less than 8 weeks. And I'm going to show you exactly how we did it and the traits that he had to become that 1500 student that he's looking for. Okay. Now, first things first, Drew and every other one of my 1500 students, they have this quality in common: consistency. What do I mean by consistency? Drew, over the last 6 to 8 weeks, has done 400 problems every single week, including the diagnostic. So that means that he's spending on average 30 to 60 minutes every single day on his homework, which doesn't sound like a lot because it's not. The only reason why this works is because these 30 to 60 minutes are hyper-focused on his biggest weaknesses. And we will talk about that in number 2 and number 3. But regardless, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's the students that carve out time in their day every single day to do some amount of work. All right. These students realize there are no excuses for not doing their work, and that's why they are so successful. So not only are they consistent, they're also accountable to their own results as well. Okay. Number 2, 10,000 foot overview. For Drew, he is an AP Calculus and an AP Lang student, which means that for the concepts on the SAT, he has not seen those for 2 to 3 years now. So what we needed to do with him was give him a 10,000 foot overview on the entire test so that we can see exactly where he was the weakest. All right. Because at this point, he's probably forgotten a lot of the things that he learned 2 to 3 years ago. So we need to make sure that we understand where are those gaps. All right. Now, let me put it this way. Test prep is not learning new things. Test prep is remembering the old things that you must have forgotten. And that's what this step is for right here. We need to give him that 10,000 foot overview so that he knows where exactly he's the weakest or what exactly he forgot. Okay. Number 3, specialization. And if you guys have been following my videos for a while, you'll know there's 2 parts to this. There's diagnosing and enhancing, and there's applying and practicing. So that's kind of what step number 2 is for diagnosing. We need to understand which of the 64 SAT concepts is Drew getting the most wrong, and which ones is he spending too much time on for the real exam. So that way we can give him a laser targeted practice plan that only focuses on those specific weaknesses. And that's why it was so easy for him to stay consistent, because he knew that all the work that we were giving him was for a reason. And most importantly, it was work that will actually move the needle. All right. So once we understand which of the 64 concepts we need the most help in, we give him real SAT problems that simulate the same type of weaknesses that he's having right now. But it's not just enough to just throw a bunch of practice problems at him, hoping that it sticks. What we really needed to do was we needed to, number 1, figure out where the bad habits were, and we needed to break down those bad habits and then rebuild them up. We want to knock him down and then build him back up. That's essentially what we did with Drew, okay? Or that's what we're still doing with Drew, so he can get past that 1540 as well, okay? Now, that's where a lot of students go wrong. They just try to do a bunch of practice problems hoping they stick, but they don't learn why they're making those mistakes, and they don't learn new strategies to prevent those mistakes. And that is what we need to do in this step right here. And that's exactly what we did with Drew. Okay. Now, next thing, we want to use harder material. So whether or not Drew was working with a practice exam, whether or not he was working with a tutor, or whether or not he was working on his homework, everything he did is slightly harder than the real SAT. So that way, when he takes the diagnostics, he's going down in difficulty. He's not going up in difficulty. Okay. You do not want it so that when you first go to the exam and you take the exam, you don't want that to be the hardest exam that you take, because then you're in trouble. You want your practice to be harder than the real thing. So by the time you take the real thing, it's like, okay, I've done this a million times. It's like I'm clocking in, I'm clocking out. So that's exactly what we did with him as well. Okay. And number 5, outside help. You got to make sure that your team is in a position to ask questions, not just in class, but I'm talking about outside of class as well. So we have Plenty of opportunities for Dhruv to ask questions in his 7-day-a-week private support chat, or he can go to additional office hours so that he can ask questions whenever he feels like it. So that way he's not confined to the few hours a week that he spends with a tutor. So that way Dhruv can ask whatever questions that he wants and he feels like he is in control of his own SAT prep. All right, guys, hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you guys have any other questions or you need some help applying these strategies to your teen's unique learning method, feel free to send me a DM. I'd be more than happy to help you out. But until then, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.